All right, I know. We're sitting here waiting for this thing to go live. Why is that? Because this is LFI Sprint Planning, Guy, and we've been doing this for the last 52 weeks. It is amazing to see this is the last week of 2021. And if you're joining us, Guy and I, we are co-founders here over at LFI. We're business partners. We've got that mindset of a champion, and we're working towards bigger things, and we're inviting you to join us in that mission. And one of the things that we've been doing consistently, as we mentioned, is running a weekly sprint plan. So what does that mean, and what is that going to mean going into 2022? It means taking and making that big, hairy, audacious goal for the year. It means breaking that out to either quarterly or monthly sort of spot check milestones and getting it down to a 1 week interval. There's going to be 52 weeks next year. There were 52 weeks this year, thereabouts. And it's all about planning ahead of time and executing a plan. Guy, we say the process is simple. It may not be easy, but it is simple to make a plan, a checklist, or whatever it is for you, and execute it. And then just get some wins as you check those things off your list and make forward progress to the goals that you're working towards.
Right. With our sprint planning, we always want to bring you into what's available for you to advance forward in your LFI business, in business in general, where we have trainings, where we have lives. There's going to be a lot more that's coming available here in 2022 because we have heard outreach. We have sat down and looked at the metrics of what the network is doing, the community is doing, and we know that there needs to be more effort from everyone internally. And so we're going to put in 26 hours a day into this thing so we can help you succeed where you would like to within business. The whole thing is what's your mindset going to be with going into 2022? I'm wagering to bet a lot of people have packed in 2021. This week is sort of a up in the air week. Some people are back to work. Are they work full time? What's really happening there, being where New Year's Eve is on Friday? Is that a short day? We just want you to know that there's still time to do some things this week within whatever business you are. You can pick up a phone, you can text, you can email, you can reach out to individuals, even just saying hi, Happy New Year's, happy holidays, hope you had a great Christmas, those different types of things. It's getting points of interaction. And obviously with your mindset, what's that going to lead into 2022? I see people jump on, jump off, that it's a squirrel mentality. And we know we try to keep as many eyeballs as we can and try to advance people forward. Just don't waste your days. That's what we're really going to get into in 2022. It is going to be more cut and dry on these are elements that can advance you forward. We bring the word about community in. We really understand that, there's trainings, there's all these different types of things, and there's a community here within LFI. Well, what community really should be is accountability, because there's so many people that shy away from accountability because accountability, like you said earlier today, ER, is their first step at what? I'm going to pass it back to you. Accountability. Why people don't like accountability is because
they have a fear of failure, and they don't want people to hold them accountable for not even starting or making forward progress in the first place. And here's the reality. There was a study that came out, Guy, and it said a comparison of people who are in business as solopreneurs, right? Doing it by themselves, for themselves, working really hard, and then people who are dual entrepreneurs. They started with a partnership in mind and they worked together. And what the reality was is those who were working together actually saw more forward progress. And the reason why was because of accountability. I'm not going to have an amazing day every day. I love to have an amazing day. I mean, there's days when you're in that flow state, Guy, and you are just checking things off and getting things done, as we like to say. And there are days where you don't feel like doing much work at all. And here's the reality. You're going to have those days, both of them as well, and you're going to have them in 2022. But when I've got a great partner next to me who can reel me in and hold me accountable on the days maybe I don't feel like giving 100%, that still helps me get a win or make some forward progress on that day. And here's the reality. If you're one of the people watching this right now, tell us where you're joining from. If you're watching this in replay, it's great to have you on. And thanks for joining us. Let us know where you're coming from. If you're watching this and you say, wow, this is some good information, it's going to help me, and maybe it'll help somebody else, think about who needs to hear this information, because this is really what this all boils down to. It's having some accountability and helping and pushing other people to be successful. And Guy, here's the reality, right? Like, it's a life by design. You and I have had this opportunity well before we even started Elify to really start leaning in and living the life we've always dreamed of. And for every one of us, that's going to be different. My life by design is based on my season in life, right? A young adult with 2 kids. Your life by design is going to be based on something else, and where you want to be and what you want to achieve and how much balance you want to have in your life. And the reality is, Guy, we came across a process, a system that we know works. Like, I wager to say I would guarantee that it works for anybody who wants to work it. And I think that's the reality. We hate talking about these 4-letter words, and work is a 4-letter word. Nobody wants to do it, but the people who are doing it are getting the results. So if you're one of those people who hasn't checked out because the year is not up yet and we want to finish strong, raise your hand and let us know. Put a comment in and say finishing strong. You know what I mean, Guy? Like, there is time still left in the year, and you need to be finishing strong.
What's funny about this, right? Yeah, it is, and thank you, Jay and Michelle and Kathy, for saying good morning and reaching out and saying hello. So as soon as we were talking accountability and fear of failure, we had a mass amount of people jump off because the accountability, they didn't want to say, oh, even hi, and where they're coming from. So it's interesting to see that, because I guarantee, because I've already started getting them, texts, calls, and the beginning of the new year of people that may have fell out of touch, who are Shuffle users, who are LFI affiliates, are re-engaged, ready to go. This year's the year. And a month later, I don't hear from them until this time in 2022. So we're here. Like, that's something we aren't going
anywhere. We've been plugging along, right? Making progress.
We will plug away. We will advance the application. We have some awesome things. I've even got a new test flight that's internal, an internal app that I'll be looking at some new elements, some refinement. There's big changes happening from the ability to look at the application and say, I want to pick and choose what I want within it. Maybe I don't want the whole thing. Granted, everyone who's on right now, every user who's on until we pull that trigger is going to be grandfathered into getting access to everything. But, there's so many new things. And Michelle, no worries being out of touch. You're back here, and we're always going to be accepting and doing different types of things. You may not even know that we have released near field communication, a tap card. It's a new feature. It's a new software or hardware that allows you to really touch your card to someone else's phone, and it downloads their information onto their phone. They can go off, and this is something that we now offer. We're looking at doing self-branded cards. We're looking at doing metal cards. We're looking at doing stickers. We're going to advance this thing to where it could be your lead your lead product when talking about what Shuffle can do for someone's business, or what LFI can do for someone's business. But when digging deep and getting into the weeds of what business is, you mentioned that 4-letter word is work. And we're here to help you navigate how to work smarter and not harder. You talking about the 4 or 5 hour work week? We're going to be putting in those amount of hours. Dana, great seeing you on. You're always someone who will be reliable from the aspect of you join our lives whenever we have them. We appreciate everyone, whether you're old, new, re-engaging, always engaging. We're here no matter what. Like I said, I know I'm gonna get a call today from one person who is going to tell me what they are going to do next year, and they're going to tell me what they were going to do last year. Actions speak louder than a lot of words. The 100%. Thing is, we're here to provide that map We talked about it last week, right? We built a map. We built how to get from A to B or A to Z. Maybe the ledger isn't clear, so we're going to get as clear cut as possible for you to get from A to B, B to C, all the way down until you get to where you want to be, ultimately need to be. I think is something that we all want to do. I saw a quote, was out with family yesterday, and it was in a sports bar, and I'm going to paraphrase it, and I can't even remember who did it. That's from all the head injuries over the years from playing football. But it's basically, you are where you are based on who you are and what you do. But the thing is now it's away from the quote, is what you do can change.
Yes.
And that can change who you are. So we really are going to be very to the point. We're going to be straight line on, this is what can happen if you do this.
Yep.
But it goes back to that work. If you do it, we're going to give you some accountability back, bring you back in probably the next day and say, was that available? Did you do it? Did you fail? And failure is never failing. It's only, if you fall down and don't get back up, I guess that would be failure. But just know to fall forward. If you didn't make that call, if you didn't do that text, you have an opportunity to do it again the next day or the next hour. So I'll get off that soapbox, but we're excited about 2022 and what the rest of this week looks like here.
Yeah, I think that's really what we wanted to come on today and talk about. And this is always the interesting thing as you come to the end of the year. And we're going to be talking about this a little bit more in some housekeeping stuff as we announce what we've got going on this week. Obviously, we've got the new year happening at the end of the week, and we want everybody to finish strong. But if you plan in annual cycles, this may be the end of your annual cycle, okay? Maybe you started out January of 2021 with certain goals in mind. Maybe you've been diligently chipping away and you made it past that 85% failure rate of people who started resolutions and failed by about January 15th, January 30th. Maybe you stuck with it and you broke it down and you ran through 1 week at a time. You hit your monthly milestones or your quarterly milestones, and you're working to just finish strong and win the rest of the year. If that's you, you've got to be finishing up. What is your sprint for this week? What are you going to do this week to finish the year strong as it relates to 2021? But in parallel with that, Guy, and what I think about as I go through, I'm doing not only my monthly review at the end of the month for December, I'm doing my quarterly review at the end of the month for Q4, and I'm doing my annual for the 2021 year as it was. And I want to see, did I win the year? Did I make forward progress? I know I am better off than where I started. It's, did I hit everything I wanted to do? And then I do a retro. And this is something that I do each and every week after my sprint plan for the week. In fact, I do a retro that is every day. Did I win the day? But it's all about having that plan to start and then executing that plan. So if you're finishing the year strong, what does your week look like? What do you have going on this week? What are you going to do from now through Friday till we celebrate the new year? Who are you going to call? What cards are you going to send? What networking are you going to do? What marketing are you going to do? What are you going to line up maybe and queue up for the beginning of the year? Also, are there reviews you need to do this week as part of your monthly, quarterly, or annual review? Is there planning you need to do this week in preparation for 2022? Guy, we've been talking about this for the last few weeks. We talked about some books that we've gone through, and I've shared with everybody on that Born to Win, Zig Ziglar. And I'm going to commit to doing pretty much a book report or a book review on a monthly basis that are the skills that I think are going to contribute to anybody getting the work done and working towards something great. It's not about doing work for work's sake. There's an old principle that says if you give yourself time, you'll fill it up with work to do. It's about being smart with that work. So we're going to show a process and a plan, and we're going to talk about the elements of that plan throughout January into February into March. If you want to stick along and join our community and work towards achieving those results. We're going to talk about, Guy, what you talked about, a 5-hour work week, right? What if there was a 5-hour work week where you could participate 1 hour, commit to doing 1 hour every day that would help in your career and in your finances? Could you commit 5 hours a week? You know, I read a study, Guy, and this is what I think is critical, and this is why I love this community, is because all of this stuff works together. And the study talked about setting and reaching goals. And when they write down, and when you write down your goal, I want you to look at that goal, and I want you to say, is this goal something I am 90 to 100% confident that I will accomplish, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident am I that I'm going to achieve this goal? And if you can't answer with a 9 or a 10 in absolute confidence, you need to break down that goal into something that you can look at and say, I know I can do that. And here's what I know. I know that if you have the desire and the passion to go from point A to point B, and if Guy and I give you a map and a key to follow that map, and that you start taking the steps and the steps are reasonable, we're talking about an hour per day, 5 hours per week, that you can commit to doing that to make forward progress. I will make a promise right now, Guy, that anybody who follows along with us in 2022 in doing this will be further along than where they started. And I look forward to hearing the types of progress that people make. And here's the reality. Your goal is going to be your goal in 2022. We're going to do a special meeting on Thursday that's going to be a brainstorming session on planning, okay? So if you haven't set your plan and you need that memory jogger to do it before Friday hits and Saturday comes and the new year is here, you're going to join us on Thursday. But let's talk about these 5 hours that we want to start committing to, because you can start committing to them right now as building that habit into the new year. And that's what I've already done. I've already done my planning. In fact, I already started to do my daily method of operation that I'm going to implement in 2022. Why? Because I want to already have those habits in place. Wake up at 5 a.m. Guys, already started doing it. Now it's starting to become habit, and I'm going to be doing it every day throughout 2022. Getting my workout in. That's part of my health initiative on the spoke right there. An hour of physical exercise. Are you going to do an hour of physical exercise? Maybe it's running for an hour. Maybe it's walking around the block for an hour. Again, it's going to be specific to you. What is going to be your career focus, your finance focus, your family focus, your health focus? You know, maybe it's spirituality you want to work on, but it's all about balancing out that wheel of life and winning by creating a life by design. So Guy and I are going to talk about a lot of topics. You're going to be able to take these and apply them in every area of your life. But the main focus is for our LFI affiliates, the people who want to create a passive residual income in 2022. And maybe you did some of that, right? You earned some money marketing stuff online from your mobile phone in 2021 and you cashed out. Maybe it was $50. Maybe it was $500. Maybe it was $5,000. Maybe it was more. If you made money with LFI and you're watching this, throw down in the comment, cashed out this year. Thanks a lot. I want you to focus on maybe a goal of 10xing what you did in 2021 and 2022. And again, we're going to show you a path that a commitment, 5 hours a week, 1 hour per day, anybody can follow if they're willing to put in the work. But it all starts with making a plan. I'm going to go back to this Born to Win book that I've been harping on for Q4. Why? Because it's about planning, preparing, and expecting to win. And if you've followed along with Guy and I at all in 2021, you'll know that Guy and I are both ex-athletes, and we understand we've performed at some of the highest level in athletics, that it takes a plan, it takes a strategy, it takes a playbook to get out there. It takes practice and training and coaching and mentorship to get out there and to play the game that you're playing and to win consistently. But here's the reality. Once you understand that process and you commit to following along with that process and putting in the work, when the results start to yield, that creates the momentum and the desire and the determination to continue to scale it up. And I'm so excited because I know what we accomplished in 2021, Guy, that I know what we're going to be accomplishing in 2022, and it's going to be so much bigger and so much better. So here's our promise to you guys. if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a work-at-home professional, a network marketer, anybody who's trying to change their current lot in life, and you want to join a community that's going to keep you accountable, provide you skills, give you updates, and help motivate and inspire you to make 2022 the best year yet. If you want to create some passive residual income, maybe it's an extra $500 a month, maybe $1,000 a month, then join us. Think about who else you know who needs to hear this and invite them to check out LFI. They can join our insider community on Facebook absolutely free. Okay? And we're going to talk about networking and marketing and how that's going to expand our businesses in 2022. We're going to dig into the nitty-gritty so that you understand how a lot of this stuff works together and so that you can apply each of these principles in the daily method of operation in your life. And that's really what it boils down to. Every Monday, we're going to come on. We're going to do a sprint plan. We're going to talk about a topic. We're going to tell you all about it. We're going to challenge you to make a plan for the week. And then we're going to challenge you to just focus on the next 7 days ahead. Okay? All of the planning we're going to do for 2022, we're going to get it done. And then it's going to be out of sight, out of mind. And we're only going to focus on the first week of the year. Okay? We're going to hold each other accountable, inspire and motivate each other, and chip away 1 week at a time. But it all starts with finishing the year strong with this week. So we encourage you to join us. If you joined us now, thank you so much for the time you've given to us. Tuesday, we're going to do a 1 hour call with Kathy Inman, our master trainer. If you want to learn the skills to implement the technology that is LFI Shuffle and that is LFI Tap, the NFC that Guy mentioned earlier, and how that can advance you in generating more leads, closing more business in the coming year, you're going to want to start participating on Tuesday. That's going to be at 4 p.m. Central. Okay, we'll post out a week at a glance card. We'll post out a broadcast of that as well. And guys, start committing to joining that on a weekly basis, Tuesdays, okay? This Tuesday, 4 p.m. Central Time. On Wednesday, we do Mindset of a Champion. That's 7 p.m. Central, okay? You will need to be a member. It's an additional subscription to do the Mindset of a Champion. But again, these are skills that are applicable to all areas of the wheel of life, and we think they're massively applicable to our LFI affiliate community. On Thursday, we'll be inviting everybody. Keep an eye out for a live broadcast for a roundtable discussion specifically on planning for your 2022. You're going to want to come prepared. We're going to go through Wheel of Life. We're going to talk about a bunch of things, method of operation and breaking everything down, along with a whole skew of Q&A. So if you're new to this, come with your questions, and we'll get those answered, okay? And then this will roll into Friday with the founders, where it's your chance to connect with Guy and I and the rest of the LFI community, talk about all things LFI, Shuffle, and Tap, talk about an overview of the affiliate program. If you want to create a passive residual income, I think it's one of the best affiliate programs out there. We're all about multiple streams of income, so we want you to check that out. And then will skill and refill over the weekend, guys. That's the pattern. It'll continue to be the pattern. So, Guy, I'm going to throw it back to you to close this thing out. And I want to wish everybody a massively successful week as we finish the year strong.
Yeah, to close it out, just what's your mindset going to be? Do you have an accountability buddy? Has anybody invited you to this platform? Have you invited anybody to this platform? If you have, I would reach out to them. Because if you can't be accountable to someone, or the biggest thing, if you can't be accountable to yourself, you can't be accountable to anybody. Yeah. So make sure that you start there. We're saying we're here for that support. We're here to be your crutch, to get you into a massively successful 2022. And we know that it will be successful because we have set it up for you to be. You just have to take the steps. And that's all we're asking you to do. You do the steps. You said setting up your goals and being able to rate them a 1 through 10. If you can't answer that 9 or 10, then you need to break it down even smaller. To say, if my goal is to weigh a certain weight and be healthy, and that's what a goal I'm going to work towards, and I have a massive one for 2021, and or 2022, and I look at it and I'm putting it down as a 7, then I need to break it down even more. I need to break it down to the month, to the week, to the day. Yeah. So I can say, can I do this every day for me at 5 a.m.
Yep.
And yes, I can. And my accountability will be ER. It will be the person that I look at in the mirror at 5 a.m. And the same thing will happen once work starts at 6:30.
Yep.
It's going to be the guy sitting beside me for accountability there, looking in the mirror. If I have to go to the bathroom to take a break to make sure that I'm staying on task, because if you've got idle time, other things happen to fall into that instead of staying focused and working towards where we want to be in 2022. So with that, we encourage you to join us the rest of this week. Have a strong end of 2021. Prepare for 2022. We're looking forward to that Thursday goal setting and preparation for 2022. Friday with the founders, Kathy's training, Michael and Edwin's training. I sort of jumped around what the week was, but in any case, we're here for support. We're here as a community. We love everyone within the community. Lean in, and we'll all get to where we want to be. Everyone have a great week. We'll talk later. Take care.